Hello, LifeSite friends. Jim Hale with you here. And I am here today to tell you about something that is brand new at LifeSite. This is something we are extremely excited about. It is called LifeSite League. And to explain that, I want to introduce you to someone brand new to tell you all about it. Her name is Jacinta Rigi, and she is joining us right now from Idaho, of all places. Jacinta Rigi, first of all, I want to welcome you to LifeSite and just get us to tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would, please.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the introduction. I'm just as excited as you for LifeSite League. But yeah, I'm 23 years old. I graduated from Boise State University last December. The last year and a half of my life, I was actually working with Fox News, and I left them in June of this last year, and I decided I wanted to pursue a career that really encompassed and involved my faith and my Catholicism. And I found this job, and I am so excited and just honored to be the new league coordinator with LifeSite League. I grew up a traditional Catholic with 6 older brothers, one of my brothers being a priest now, and also have an uncle who's a priest. So I've just, the Catholic faith is absolutely everything to me. So this is just an honor to be with LifeSite League.
You know what? It's an honor for us to have you. When I heard you on our all staff call last month and you were talking about your background, I just thought, how in the world did we find somebody like this? I mean, it was just so cool. Hearing all about the things that you've done and who you are and just the energy you bring to all this. And LifeSite League is all about this thing called citizen journalism. And it's something that's really just taken the world by storm, really, in the last few years. And I guess, Jacinta, I think about it, especially we saw the power of citizen journalism during COVID. And we saw so many people with their iPhones capturing honestly, the most memorable moments, really, I saw during those horrible lockdowns, the protest marches, the way that governments were cracking down on protest. That's when I really started noticing this, that a citizen, a person with his iPhone or with his camera can change the world, really, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, social media and the internet is our new war that we're fighting. You know what I mean? So everybody is involved, especially since LifeSite League is geared towards, we really want the youth to start getting involved. So obviously we know that means social media. We know that means writing, which is why we brought citizen journalism, because we just think it's such a great idea. You can send in your videos, your photos you get to us, and we will be posting mostly all of that on LifeSiteNews. And if you're at rallies and you're at a pro-life march and something happens, write it all down, write it up like a report, like an article, and you have the possibility to get that published on LifeSiteNews, because obviously in our day and age, our phones, everything is held on our phones. You can see anything, you can witness anything. So we're really excited about our citizen journalism program, and we've already had great articles put up on our website that our journalists that are even in high school are writing. Because any age can be involved.
So Jacinta, how is this going to work? Let's say somebody goes to a school board meeting, and we know that very intense things happen at school board meetings. We have our own Attorney General, Merrick Garland, who's basically said parents who come to school board meetings should be regarded as domestic terrorists if they're not happy with the school board. So let's just say I'm going to a school board meeting tonight, and things become controversial and intense at the school board meeting. Like, what do I do if I want to be a citizen journalist?
Yeah, so as we know, so many things happen in our country at school board meetings, for example, in your local communities that we don't know about and that the country doesn't know about. And as we know, with false news, with fake news, everything is censored. I mean, with LifeSite News gets censored all the time. We can't post.
Tell me about it.
I mean, because Facebook will shut us down, and Instagram does it as well, and Twitter, all of it. So there's so much happening in our country and even just in our world, in our small communities, which is why LifeSite League is so important and wonderful, because it's giving an opportunity to small town people and small towns to voice what's happening, because there's so much happening. There's so much diversity in our communities. So what you would do is, if you're signed up with LifeSite League, you just email league@lifesitenews.com. And you also, a lot of people will be given my personal email. So I'm always, very personable with everyone who joins. And we are just nonstop looking at our emails. So people are sending us in information, send us what's happening, whether it's photos and videos, or if you're just quickly writing up a report. And we have our journalists that will, edit them, rework them, even call you and talk to you about what exactly happened. Maybe there could be an interview. So just keeping us up to date, keeping us informed, because LifeSite News is all about, speaking the truth and not censoring anything, but really basing everything on the Catholic faith as well, bringing it all back to the roots and what's important. So yeah, you would just email us, send us all the information, and we'll go from there and we'll post it on our LifeSite News.
So Jacinta, what are your guidelines or parameters? What do you want people to know about the kind of things we're looking for?
Yeah, so just, to kind of sum up LifeSite League for you, it's a movement that really brings together Catholic, or Christian individuals who truly want to make a difference. And I know that me, myself, as a 23-year-old young Catholic living in this society, there have been times where I have been, and still am, so scared of the world, and all the traps the devil has laid out to catch me. And I recently, especially recently with all these woke movements, and, the evil that's just shoved in our faces, I know thousands of young Catholics, faithful Catholics, feel intimidated and they feel outnumbered. But the truth is, we're not outnumbered, and our prayers are powerful. No amount of money that the BLM or the LGBTQ movement may have is more powerful than our prayers. So we are, in a time where we have no other choice but to fight for Christ and to fight for our faith. And our voices are getting lost in the noise of the world. And we cannot let that happen. It's not an option anymore. It's a duty. And LifeSite League realizes that. LifeSite News realizes that, our grandparents had a duty. The martyrs had a duty. Our great-great-grandparents had a duty, and some of their duty was to physically fight and give their lives up for Christ or for their faith. And so I think the least we can do is to join the League and do this, whether it's through prayer, activism, or journalism, and if you're sick and tired of, watching by and seeing Catholicism crumble and just, seeing our legislators pass these laws that are just defacing Christ, I truly encourage, everyone to join the League, and you will make a difference.
Man, you get me fired up, Jacinta. This is, just hearing you talk is truly inspirational. What kind of things do you not want people to send to you? We don't want those airplane videos of people freaking out on airplanes and stuff, though, do we?
No, yeah. So obviously informative stuff.
Right.
And obviously nothing. We have gotten a few things where we kind of have to fact check people because they do know that they have the opportunity to be published on LifeSite, which is a big thing. And so sometimes we'll be like, well, that sounds a little, so we will, we keep in contact with them. We email them back and forth, make sure they're really just sticking with the facts of what they saw, what they witnessed. We don't, but send in any photos or videos. We'll watch them. We'll go through them. But yeah, just, I think stick with the facts, and they know, these people that join the League are serious about it. And we haven't received anything crazy yet. So,
okay. Okay, Leah, let's try to keep it that way. Now, just in terms of mechanics, because I'm a video guy, I'm an editor as well. Do you want vertical videos that people shoot with their phones? Do you want them to go horizontal? Like just in terms of that, what do you say?
Either can work. Vertical is great because, soon we will be launching officially our social media. And so we will be posting, it's going to be very involved. We want it to be something that's personable, so people really feel like they're making a difference for us and they're not just sending in things and nothing's happening. So we will post things on our social media videos. So vertical is great, but honestly, anything will work. We're not picky. And we have editors as well, so we can always edit things just to make them fit perfectly.
It just said, I just wanted to ask you a little bit more too about, you told us you're 23 years old, you're in Idaho. Tell us a little bit about the Catholic faith in Idaho, because I think most of us don't really think of Idaho as being a Catholic stronghold, especially in Boise. Now, I know like in northern Idaho, there's a lot of solid Catholicism. What's the scene like in Boise?
So I'm from Post Falls, which is like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Oh, so that's where you are now.
Yes, but I did go to school in Boise. So I did live in Boise for
gotcha.
a few years. So obviously here it is very conservative. No one's scared to show their Catholicism here. But yes, Boise it's the quite opposite.
Right.
I remember when I went to school, I organized and I helped do a pro-life march. But we actually had thousands of people that showed up. So I think they're just hidden and they're a little bit more scared, just like anybody is when they're in just a really blue area of their state. But that's the whole point. Just like LifeSite League, these people that are scared to come out. But when you hold a pro-life march, then that's when you're like, all of these people, you're all Catholics. Like, where have you been? Like, what have you been doing? Come on, we need to do something. Like, we need to be out here multiple times a year, not just once a year for a march. So yeah, we're like with LifeSite League, hopefully like in towns like that, where they're really, really like liberal and they don't like, the Catholicism necessarily. Hopefully people will be given a voice through LifeSite League.
Well, and that's really important because, I work mostly the pro-life beat, and what we've seen here in the last 2 years is an alarming increase in the number of sidewalk counselors being attacked out on the street. And some of these actually brutal attacks by people. And we need those people on the sidewalks to understand that I think in almost any state, it is always legal to pull your phone out and to record what is happening. And, if we can... those stories need to be told as well.
Yeah, I mean, some of the biggest stories, even just in politics, have been the biggest stories in the past couple of years have been through a cell phone. It's incredible. So yeah, I mean, it's sad because it's always attached to us, but it's our new weapon. Like I said, we're fighting a war, and our war looks a lot different than our grandparents fought, but it's still a war that we need to fight. And yes, it may be through social media, but I think we also need to physically be putting ourselves out there, not just reposting on our story like my generation does constantly every single day. Right. I think really physically putting us on the front lines is important, even if that way is through social media and through our camera lens.
Yeah. So, you mentioned that you had a background at Fox News. When it comes to storytelling, what do you think are the stories that really are the most important to tell? What I've really noticed in the last couple of years is that when we profile citizens fighting back against the tyrannical government or people taking a stand, I mean, oftentimes those videos do more than when we feature a celebrity person, to be honest with you.
Yeah, people like the attention grabbing within the first 3 seconds. If someone's getting punched in the face, they're like, oh, this is great. It's terrible, but it's the truth. It's better. It's better news. Like, that's what I've learned. There's a lot of clickbait that goes on, so I think our storytelling is obviously just the truth. And I don't know, I'm excited for LifeSite League members to really get out there physically. We really want to focus especially on the pro-life movement. That's one of our big goals. So going to those pro-life marches, and as we know, I mean, I've been to countless, and there are big things that break out. A lot of, people that will throw things at pro-lifers, even when you're, like praying the rosary in front of Planned Parenthood. Things happen there, crazy things. So the pro-life movement is something big. That's a huge story we want to tell, but We are just simply focused on transforming culture for Christ and really focusing on the truth. And that's it. And I think especially these LifeSite League members have been Catholics for quite some time, or even are new Catholics, but they have so much enthusiasm. And I know that that's going to be put into their work, whether it's their prayer, their activism, or their citizen journalism.
Okay, let's tell them again, Jacinta, how they get involved and what the process is.
Yeah, so it's super easy. You go to LifeSiteNews.com. There is a news tab on the top. You'll see it right away. And then there'll be a little search bar and you type in LifeSite League and all the information will be given to you. We have a whole article written about all the ways you can get involved. And there's also at the bottom a little submission form. Put in your information and you're all set to go. We also have a Telegram group chat with all of the members where we can keep each other updated. It's very personable. That's how we wanted it. And yeah, it's as easy as that.
And what about the length of the videos? Do you have any concerns about that?
The links that they send us.
Yeah. Like how long do you want the videos to be typically?
They can be as long as you want. Obviously, over a couple minutes is probably a lot. We might even cut it down. Like I said, we have editors, so we will edit it. But yeah, they can be anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes long. It just depends on what you're seeing.
Well, Jacinta Rigi, what a pleasure it is to finally talk to you. I know you really impressed everyone on our staff when you introduced yourself to us all last month. This is something that we've been talking about doing something like this for a couple of years, and it's really nice to have somebody who is stepping into the role and doing what you're doing. And I'll tell you, it certainly seems like to me you're doing exactly what God has called you to do.
Yeah, I believe LifeSite League was brought to me after I left Fox. I was heartbroken because I thought it was my dream job. And then I realized that when LifeSite League came along, this is it. This is what I was meant to do. And my faith is everything to me. And I know it is to hundreds and thousands of people out there, especially League members. And so we're on the front lines, we're fighting the faith, we're transforming culture, we're doing it all through LifeSite League. So hopefully people join when they watch this, and hopefully they're as excited and honored as we are.
All right. Well, who needs Fox, Jacinta?
I know, exactly. This is way better. I haven't even thought about them since this.
Amen. Well, Jacinta Rigi, thank you so much. You got us all fired up here. Friends, you know what to do now. It's time to pull the trigger. Get in touch with Jacinta. Go on the website and look up LifeSite League and just become a part of citizen journalism. Jacinta, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. God bless you.
All right. God bless you, dear.